Hello, my name is Abraham Klein, and today I'm about to probably cause a little bit of controversy. And I don't mean to cause controversy, but, because I'm going to be talking about something that I've never talked about before, and mostly because it's not something that's really ever related to me in my life, and that is relationships. Yes. Me, unmarried, unengaged, ungirlfriended Abe, going to talk about relationships. Now, actually, that reminds me, there used to be a girl on YouTube who had a channel, and she talked about a lot of different stuff, but she was like Katie, the relationship guru who's never been in a relationship, I think was the name of the little segment she did. And eventually she found a husband, so maybe there's something to this. But either way, let's get to the story. What brought this up was because I saw this article on something called Guff. I don't know what Guff is, but it's like a news thing. And they had a headline, which is where we get most of our news these days, that reads, "A woman sued her boyfriend for not proposing to her after 8 years together," which is a long time, by the way. I mean, far longer than I've ever been in a relationship. We're not talking about me. So, 8 years together, and now she's deciding to sue her boyfriend for not marrying her. And so I was interested in this. I thought this was kind of interesting. So I started looking at the comment section. And of course, there were people that were, like, oh, she's a crazy, no wonder he didn't, And yet others like, what an awful man, why didn't he marry, and all these different things. I'm assuming this is what people sound like. They might sound different, but that's how I was imagining them. Either or So, but then you also had those that were in there that were relating with the girl, that were like, relating to the girl. Being like, oh yes, I've been waiting 15 years and I'm still not engaged. And stuff like that. Or, wow, I finally got engaged after 9 years, and then, what do you know, it's still been 20 years, we're still not married, oh. And, the common theme is, oh, men are so stupid, because they don't want to get engaged, they don't want to get married, what a bunch of idiots, how stupid of them. And my first thought is, well, no, they're not, actually, and I'll explain that in a minute, explain why in a minute. But, yeah, this seems to be a common thing. I saw another story about a girl that went to her boyfriend's job and was like, showed up in a wedding dress, was like, you have an ultimatum, marry me, or something, And other articles, and I can't exactly remember all the scenarios, but there's been a lot of these different things of girls talking about the fact that they want to get married, or they want to get engaged, but their boyfriend won't get engaged to them, they won't marry them. Oh, I've been married for so long, I've been together with them so long, he doesn't want to get married. I mean, we've been together, we're so in love, why does he want to marry me? And there's obvious reasons. And no, these are not really reasons that I relate to. I, as a young man, would like to get married someday. That'd be awesome. I've got, obvious reasons why I'm probably not married, but, this isn't about me. So when we look at this story, there's a couple reasons, and I'm sure every man has a different reason. But one of the reasons why is probably divorce, right? If they get divorced, there's a good chance to lose everything, especially if there's kids involved. But it's more than that. It's more than that, especially if there's no kids involved. The reason why is, well, I think you know. But let me give you the reason. Let me give you the way that you can guarantee that your boyfriend might, I say might, at least a 47% chance, maybe 60%, which is more than 50, by the way, if we're doing math here. Way to get him to marry you, potentially, is simply this. Stop giving it up. That's right, stop giving it up. And you know what I mean by it, right? What I mean by giving it up. Right, we know? Okay, now that we know what that is. Stop giving it up. And he will marry you, maybe. He'll either marry you, or he will leave you. Or he'll be like, babe, look, man, babe, we don't need a piece of paper. Like, I'm willing to be whatever you want, but we don't need married. We need to see a piece of paper. And stuff like that, and eventually your heart will melt, and you'll eventually stay in that relationship, and then eventually do the same stupid thing. Eventually you'll sue your boyfriend, which is great. But, it's simply down to that. Stop giving it up. Because at the end of the day, if a guy won't marry a woman, won't even get engaged to her, it's because, well, he already has what he wants. In fact, I remember hearing a very wise man, well, maybe he wasn't wise, but either way, he said it. He said a long time ago why he was not married to his girlfriend and stuff. Eventually got married and then divorced. But either way, he said the reason why he just was not married to his girlfriend was because, quote, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? The first thought was, well, why do you think girls are cows, and why do you think it was milk? When you get past the misogynist statement, potentially, it makes sense. Why get married when you're already getting the benefits of marriage? You know, you've been giving it. You've been willing to move in with him to split the bill so he doesn't have to pay as much, or he moves in with you, whatever it is, and depending on which one's got less money. You know, and then sometimes you even bear him children. And at the end of all of that, after you've given him all of that, you're like, well, now marry me. Why? What's in it for me? Right? So, if you really want him to get married to you, stop giving it up. And there's a better chance he'll marry you than not. Well, maybe not. But there's a better chance than not doing anything and continuing to give it up. That's what I'm saying. And so yeah, that's how. That's the secret right there. Stop giving it up. And if that is not enough, well then guess what? Maybe he's not worth being with you. Who knows? But regardless, you know, that's your alternative. That's what you got to deal with. So if you add that, or stop complaining about it. Either stop complaining about it or stop giving it up. And so yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I hope this has been helpful. The truth is, I know many of you out there in this situation probably already know this. But nothing wrong with a little bit of reminding every once in a while, right? So there we go. This has been Abraham Klein. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.